All right, fire it up. Just do your thing here, bud. Nobody's any better at this than you are.
Have fun, take a deep breath.
Give him hell at the end. You like this?
Fight like hell like we do every week. You are the best here.
Brett, be affirmative. You told me to get on. Info.
Ready. Ready. Go slow. Green, green, green.
Lock it down, lock it down.
I'm destroyed, and I just got drove through like 6 times on the 14th. What the f*** is he thinking? That is the stupidest thing I've seen in my career. Literally.
Everything you described is accurate. Haven't even finished the second stage yet. Half the field's wrecked.
Hell yeah!
11 got it.
Rowdy there, Matt. Good job, pal. Thanks, man. Good job all day.
Great work, my man. Great work.
Keep putting yourself in position, we'll win our share, right? We got one back today, brother. Good job.
Yeah, great job, guys.
And welcome back to week 33 of the 2021 NASCAR season. And my name is Mark. I'll be walking you through this week's picks and tricks for the AutoTrader EchoPark Automotive 500. I could shorten that name a little bit, but either way. So, what a road course roval race we had last week with Kyle Larson coming from kind of almost being eliminated from the even playoffs, with Kyle Larson and his crew having to change his alternator belt midway through the race while under caution, looking if they're a road course, which takes at least a little bit of time to get all the way through that whole road course. But they were able to change and add an alternator belt in less than 2 minutes, and probably saving his season and his potential championship hopes. But he came back, won the race, and locked himself into this new round. We are down to 8 total drivers. Kyle Larson probably has enough points. I know he could miss probably one race, but all he's got to do is probably finish top 20 in the next 3 races and probably get himself into the season finale at Phoenix. With that being said, let's take a look at the stats and DraftKings points from last week's Bank of America Roval 400. Hopefully you did well. My picks went okay, not great. I've had better weeks, I've had worse weeks. Hopefully you put the right combination together and got something like this, even though out of all the things I was playing, I didn't see anybody actually have this lineup. But this is the optimal lineup: Tyler Reddick, Kyle Larson, Matt DiBenedetto, Chris Buescher, Kyle Busch, and Daniel Suarez. With, like we've always said, there's really not a chance because there's not enough points to have a true dominator, unless they just go out and do what Chase Elliott has done at some road courses. But having 2-ish dominators with Kyle Busch leading 22 laps and Kyle Larson leading 16. But we had 4 place differential drivers, which was kind of to be expected. I'd said we would have probably 1-ish dominator and 4 to 5 place differentials and 1 just finishing position. Kind of like Kyle Busch finishing 9th to 4th. Not a whole lot of PD upside to that, but he did lead 22 laps, which got him into the optimal lineup. But we had $200 left on the optimal lineup, and for the season-long contest of optimal lineup makes, Kyle Larson now leads the pack by 3 over Denny Hamlin, Daniel Suarez, and Chris Buescher with only 4 races left. The gap is getting very, very small for these guys to have a run at Kyle. Something drastic would have to happen, and the next 2 tracks are built for Kyle Larson. 1.5 mile fast, 550 horsepower, high downforce. He should, if not win one of these 2, at least finish in top 5 in both, unless something just weird happens, which, I mean, alternator belt fell off his last car this past Sunday. But so it looks like the real battle is going to be for second between Denny Hamlin, Daniel Suarez, and Chris Buescher. It's kind of an interesting little stat to kind of keep track of throughout the year. But The real reason you guys came is to break down the Texas Motor Speedway race this weekend. And we have the AutoTrader EchoPark Automotive 500 from Texas Motor Speedway. Hopefully I don't say that again. Track type is intermediate. It is 1.5 miles in length. The two turns are now different. That got changed quite a while back, but makes it a little bit interesting because it's kind of like Darlington. You've got two different corners that end up setting up, so you might be really good in turns 1 and 2, but not as fast in 3 and 4. So it's having a nice balanced car is what these guys are looking for. But 20 degrees in turns 1 and 2, and 24-degree banking and 3 and 4. And turns 1 and 2 are actually kind of a progressive banking. It's not fully 20 degrees all the way through. But race length for this race is 334 laps. We will have Dominator, since we have Dominator points of 233.8. That's broken down with laps led of 83.5 and fast laps of 150.3. So fast laps and lead laps will be something to be paying attention to this week. And I expect we're probably going to have 1, maybe 2 Dominators. And we're probably looking for 3 to 4 PD upside guys, and maybe 1 or 2 guys that just start up front and finish kind of up front. So start in the top 10 and finish top 10. All right, the real reason you guys came, the driver by driver breakdown. And we start at the top. Kevin Harvick, 10,900. Biggest reason he is up top and the most expensive is he is starting 24th, which gives us a ton of PD upside. And Kevin is really good at Texas. At least he has been in the past. This year has been a little bit different story for Kevin. Either Chase Elliott's in his head, or the cars that Stewart-Haas are bringing to the track just aren't fully what they're hoping for. But either way, Kevin Harvick has the best potential because of what he has typically averaged of a 9th place finish, starting 24th. Gives him that number 1 power ranking for this week. So he's got, in the last 5 races here at Texas, this does include the All-Star race, which is kind of weird to throw into here, but because they did run 100 laps, there is a lot of stats, and they just did it 5 months ago. So it's something I wanted to make sure that was added into these stats, because it is the most relevant time that they were here. I mean, other than that, it was this time last year, and things have changed. I mean, Kevin Harvick's not running near as well as he was last year compared to this year, so wanted to make sure we added in that all-star race to these stats. So he has 1 win in the last 5 starts, 2 top 5s, 3 top 10s, and 5 top 20s, 54.6 DraftKings average, a 9th place average finish. He finished 16th here in the fall race last year. He has 36 total starts here at Texas, 3 wins to his record, 12 top 5s, 23 top 10s, and 33 out of 36 top 20s. And if he's starting 24th and he's averaging at least in the top 10 in the last 5 races, I think that's a good chance that Kevin can find himself getting up there, unless he and Chase decide to tangle with each other again. But hey, whatever. All right, next in line here, next no surprise here, Kyle Larson, 10,500 on the pole. He does have a win here. That was the All-Star race earlier this year. And in the last, actually 4 starts, 4 starts for Kyle. He has 1 top 5, 1 top 10, and 2 top 20s at 26.6 DraftKings average, a 17.3 average finish. He did not race in the fall race last year because of his suspension. He does have he's 5th on the power ranking this week. 14 total starts here at Texas with that 1 win from the All-Star race, 4 top 5s, 5 top 10s, and 8 top 20s. Next in line here, we've got Martin Truex Jr., 10,300, starting 8th. 9th on the power ranking. This is one of the mile-and-a-half tracks that Martin has not won at yet. And in the last 5, he only has a 1 top 5, 2 top 10s, and 4 top 20s, a 38.5 DraftKings average, a 12.6 average finish, and he finished 2nd here in the fall race last year. He has 20 total starts here at Texas, with 5 top 5s, 17 top 10s, and 26 top 20s. Next in line, we've got Chase Elliott, 10,100, the new Intimidator. Kevin Harvick was so scared of Chase that he wrecked his car after Kevin wrecked Chase's car. And Chase didn't have to touch him. He just had to get up behind him. And that was enough for Kevin to drive it straight into the wall. Kind of funny. Not funny, but funny. 10,100, starting 6th. The new Intimidator has a power ranking of 7th this week. Does not have a win here at Texas, but in the last 5 starts, he has 1 top 5, 1 top 10, and 4 top 20s, a 25.6 DraftKings average, 16th place average finish. He finished 20th here in the fall and has 11 total starts with 3 top 5s, 6 top 10s, 10 top 20s. Next in line here, we've got Denny Hamlin, 9,900. 4th on the power ranking, and he'll be starting outside pole in the 2nd position. He does have 1 win here at Texas in the last 5 starts. With that 1 win, gives him 1 top 5, 2 top 10s, 3 top 20s, a 26.6 DraftKings average, and a 15.8 average finish. And Denny did finish 9th here in the fall race last year. 31 total starts at Texas with 3 wins to his record, 7 top 5s, 14 top 10s, and 24 top 20s. Next in line here, we have got Kyle Busch, 9,800, starting 3rd. 8th on the power ranking. Does have 1 win here, which came in this race last year. It was his only win of 2021, so he waited till the very end of the season to get his only win of 2020. With that 1 win, gives him 2 top 5s, 5 top 10s, and 5 top 20s in the last 5 starts at Texas, 61.3 DraftKings average, and a 6.2 average finish. And I think both of those are the top of the heap this week. Finished 1st here, as I was saying, last year's race. And in the 31 total races, Kyle has 4 wins, 14 top 5s, 18 top 10s, and 27 top 20s. Kyle's going to be another one that's going to be potentially somebody to take a look at starting. Not a whole lot of PD upside, but potentially that finishing position that I was talking about earlier. All right, next in line here, we've got William Byron, 9,600, starting 12th, and a power ranking of 19th this week. Williams hasn't typically been very good at Texas, but in the last 5 starts, he does have 2 top 10s, 4 top 20s, 29.2 DraftKings average, and a 16th place average finish. He finished 13th here in the fall race last year. 7 total starts to his credit with 3 top 10s and 6 top 20s. No top 5s for William. Maybe that'll change this week. Next in line, Ryan Blaney, 9,500, starting 4th. Ryan might be one of my picks, final 4 picks, along with Kyle Larson. I don't know who else I've got thinking about going in there. Maybe Joey Logano, because I think next week at Kansas, maybe his type of track, he did really well last year there. But Ryan Blaney, 9,500, starting 4th. 2nd on the power ranking this week. In the last 5 starts here at Texas, 2 top 5s, 4 top 10s, and 4 top 20s, a 55.6 DraftKings average, and a 12.2 average finish. Ryan finished 4th here last fall. 11 total starts to his credit with 4 top 10s, 4 top 5s, 7 top 10s, and 9 top 20s. All right, next in line here, we've got Alex Bowman, 9,300, starting 14th. Another one of those drivers just missed on the cut of the round of 8. But starting 14th this week, he has a power ranking of 10. And out of his last 5 starts here, he has a 2 top 5s, 3 top 10s, 4 top 20s, a 52.6 DraftKings average, a 6.2 average finish, tying him with Kyle Busch for the best average finish in the last 5. He did finish 5th here in the fall race. And out of his 10 total starts here at Texas, he has 2 top 5s, 3 top 10s, and 6 top 20s. Next in line, we've got Joey Logano, 9,100, starting 5th. And 15th on the power ranking. Joey, in the last 5 starts here at Texas, has 3 top 5s, 4 top 10s, 5 top 20s, a 40.5 DraftKings average, and a 7.6 average finish. He did finish 10th here in the fall race last year. And it has a total of 26 starts to his credit with 1 win, 12 top 5s, 15 top 10s, and 20 top 20s. Joey's pretty good at that track. Next in line, Ross Chastain, 8,900, starting 25th. And 20th on the power ranking. Ross has only one top 20 in the last 5 races here at Texas, a 19.5 DraftKings average, a 26th place average finish. He did not compete in the race last fall, but out of his total 5 starts, he does have 2 top 20s. Kurt Busch, next in line here at 8,700, starting 17th, third on the power ranking. Good PD upside here for Kurt Busch, considering how well he races here. And in the last 5 starts here, he has 5 top 10s, 5 top 20s, a 43.8 DraftKings average, and an 8.6 average finish. He finished 7th here in the fall race last year. And for his 36 total starts here at Texas, he does have 1 win, 3 top 5s, 24 top 10s, and 29 out of 36 top 20s. Next in line, Brad Keselowski, 8,500, 7th on the 7th starting spot this weekend, and a 13th on the power ranking. In the last 5, he does have 1 top 5, 3 top 10s, 3 top 20s, a 17.1 DraftKings average, a 17.8 average finish. Finished 6th here in the fall race last year. 26 total starts here at Texas with 6 top 5s, 11 top 10s, and 18 top 20s. Next in line here, we got Christopher Bell, 8,300, starting 11th, 14th on the power ranking. He does have only 3 starts in the last 5. One of those was the All-Star race. Does have 1 top 5, 1 top 10, 2 top 20s, a 42.0 DraftKings average, and 11.7 average finish. He finished 3rd here in the fall race last year. And out of his 3 total starts, we already know the stats on that. All right, next in line here, Erik Amarola, 8,100, starting 22nd. Has a power ranking of 6 this week. Decent PD upside here for Erik. He actually does pretty well here also. 1 top 5 in the last 5 starts, 4 top 10s, 4 top 20s, a 49.9 DraftKings average, and a 10th place average finish. He finished 23rd here in the fall race last year. And out of his 21 total starts here, he has 1 top 5, 6 top 10s, and 12 top 20s. All right, next in line here, we got Chase Briscoe, 7,900, starting 26th. 22nd on the power ranking, mostly because we don't have a whole lot of stats for Chase. The only thing he's done here is finish 4th in the All-Star Open race earlier this year. And that's really all we got with him. We don't have any stats, so he doesn't have the best power ranking. I expect him to have some PD upside here and probably finish better than 26. So I'm thinking in the high teens would be my guess. But next in line here, Tyler Reddick, 7,700, starting 9th. 21st on the power ranking. He only has 3 starts here at Texas with 1 top 5, 1 top 10, 3 top 20s, 44.2 DraftKings average, an 11th place average finish. And he finished 15th here in the fall race last year. Next in line, we've got Austin Dillon, 7,500, starting 15th. 1 win for Austin in the last 5 starts here. His power ranking is 17th, by the way. With that 1 win, gives him 1 top 5, 1 top 10, and 5 top 20s. 36.3 DraftKings average, 11.6 average finish. Austin finished 11th here in the fall race last year. Austin's had 17 total starts here at Texas with 1 win, 1 top 5, 2 top 10s, and 10 top 20s. All right, next in line, Matt DiBenedetto, Matty D. Coming down to the end here for Matty. Still no ride for next year. I hope he finds something. 7,400, starting 13th, 18th on the power ranking. No top 5s in the last 5 starts here, with 1 top 10, 4 top 20s, 27.9 DraftKings average, and a 16.4 average finish. He finished 8th here in the fall race last year. 12 total starts with 1 top 10, 5 top 20s. Next in line here, we've got Ricky Stenhouse Jr., 7,200, starting 27th, 16th on the power ranking. And out of his last 5 starts here, Texas, only 2 top 20s, 7.9 DraftKings average, and a 26.0 average finish. Ricky did finish 12th here in the fall race last year. And out of his 17 total starts here at Texas, only has 9 top 20s, no top 10s. All right, next grouping here, Ryan Newman, $7,000, starting 31st. Great PD upside potential here with Ryan Newman. 11th on the power ranking because of that. 5 top 20s out of his last 5 starts, 29.1 DraftKings average, 15.6 average finish. He finished 19th here in the fall race. 36 total starts here at Texas, and he does have a win. That was a while ago, but does have a win here. 3 top 5s, 6 top 10s, and 25 top 20s. Next here, we've got Daniel Suarez, 6,900, starting 19th, 24th on the power ranking. In the last 5 starts here at Texas, he has 2 top 5s, 2 top 10s, and 2 top 20s. A 33.8 DraftKings average, 19th place average finish, where he finished 19th last fall. Surprise. Sounds like he finishes 19th here a lot. Starting 19th, finishing 19th. 9 total starts with 2 top 5s, 2 top 10s, and 4 top 20s to Mr. Suarez's credit. Next in line, we've got Justin Haley, 6,800, starting 32nd, 29th on the power ranking. And we're not going to have a whole lot of stats for Justin here, because he's only raced the All-Star Open race where he finished 7th. So, not a whole lot to talk about Justin. I like his PD potential upside here, but it's probably not going to be a lot. I expect him maybe to finish in the mid-20s. And at that price, I think we can find some better options down lower. But I do like the PD upside here for Justin. Next in line, Erik Jones, 6,600, starting 21st. 12th on the power ranking. In the last 5 starts here at Texas, has 1 top 5, 3 top 10, 3 top 20s, a 35.5 DraftKings average, 15.8 average finish. Finished 21st here in the fall race. And out of his last 10 starts, or his 10 total starts here at Texas, he has 3 top 5, 6 top 10s, and 7 top 20s. Next driver, Chris Buescher, 6,500, starting 10th. Don't love Chris's starting spot here, hence the 25th on the power ranking. And because he only has 3 top 20s, no top 10s, 21.5 DraftKings average, and a 22.8 average finish, he's going to PD downside, more than likely. Even though this style of track is something that Chris races typically fairly well at, it's going to be tough because those top 8 drivers are going to be battling with each other to get good finishes. So I think staying away from Chris Buescher this week may be something to really look at doing. He finished 34th here in the fall race last year, and out of his 12 total starts here at Texas, only 4 top 20s. All right, next group here, kind of getting down to where I'm not real interested in taking some of these guys, but we're going to have to take some of these guys just because we're going to need to save some money in places. So these are all cautionary grouping here. Bubba Wallace, 6,400, starting 18th. Only has 1 top 20 in the last 5 starts, a 10.5 DraftKings average, and a 24.8 average finish. He finished 38th here in the fall race last year. 7 total starts, 1 top 10, 2 top 20s. Next driver, Cole Custer, 6,200, starting 20th. 30th on the power ranking, 2 top 20s in the last 5 starts, 12.5 DraftKings average, 22.3 average finish. Finished 14th here last fall, but as we know, Stewart-Haas is just different than they were last year. 3 total starts here for Cole and only has 2 top 20s. Next here is Ryan Preece at $6,000, starting 23rd, 1 top 20 in his last 5 starts. And did I say 31st on the power ranking? I'm not sure if I did or not, but I did now. 18.0 DraftKings average, 25.8 average finish. Finished 18th here in the fall. The PD upside for the last 3 guys just isn't really. There is no real upside or downside. So Michael McDowell, 5,800, starting 16th. Another driver that's just finished well last week. And we're going from a road course to a intermediate oval, D-shaped oval. Texas just doesn't bode well for these guys to finish They might finish where they're starting, but that doesn't help us. That doesn't give us any PD upside. And Michael McDowell's last 5 starts here, he has 3 top 20s, 27.9 DraftKings average, and an 18.6 average finish. Finished 26th in the fall race last year, 18 total starts with only 4 top 20s. Here's somebody that might be interested in taking for some PD upside and some value. Corey LaJoie, 5,700, starting 29th and 23rd on the power ranking. Only 1 top 20, and he's averaging a 26.8 average finish, 19.8 DraftKings average. He did finish 25th here in the race last year, and 8 total starts. He has no wins and 1 top 20. All right, next in line here, we've got Anthony Alfredo, 5,600, starting 28th. 27th on the power ranking, and we don't really have any stats for Anthony Alfredo other than he finished 8th here in the All-Star Open race. So we'll skip to the next driver, Timmy Hill, 5,400, starting 39th. Average finish of 30th. I mean, maybe there's some PD upside here, but Timmy Hill never, even when he's starting last, doesn't ever make the optimal lineup or even help us get even into the money. So I'll probably be swaying away from Timmy Hill here. He did finish 30th here in the race last year and has 8 total starts. David Starr, I'm not even going to touch David Starr, 5,300. No real stats in the last 5 races. He did finish 18th in the All-Star Open race, which is really bad. He does have 4 total starts here, so I won't be taking any of David Starr. Joey Gase, 5,100, starting 37th, 38th on the power ranking. Finished 37th in the fall, not interested. Josh Bilicki, starting 33rd, finished 29th in the fall. Okay, 30.5 draft or 30.5 average finish. It just there's no benefit in taking these guys. They never even come close to making the optimal lineup unless it's a super speedway, maybe a road course, or if it's an absolute wreckfest. And we haven't seen any of that happen with this package, this 550 horsepower high downforce package that they're running. So we'll just kind of skim through these. BJ McLeod, 4,900, starting 35th, 34th on the power ranking, 31.7 average finish. Not interested there. Garrett Smitley, 4,800, starting 36, 32nd on the power ranking, finished 31st in the fall, 33.0 average finish. Cody Ware finished 11th in the All-Star Open, 4,700, not interested in taking any of that. Quinn Hoff starting 30th. I'm definitely not interested in taking him when he's got an average finish of 33.5. So that kind of wraps up our drivers. I don't cover these guys a whole lot at the back end. It's just not worth spending the time to do it. You can take them if you want. They don't make the optimal lineup, much less even make a lineup that will cash. So let's look at our optimal lineups for last year's 2 races at Texas. In the fall race, we had 334 laps. We had 3-ish dominators. Actually, it was 3 dominators. Kyle Busch, Martin Truex, and Clint Bowyer, all leading 90 laps, 53 laps, and 89 laps, respectively. So we had 2 place differentials and 1 finishing person. So in 2 values. Remember, the value picks are anything under 7,500. Don't see anything that really stands out there other than 1, 2, and 3 with leading laps. And Clint Bowyer getting in there, leading 89 laps. But the spring race, we had 334 laps. We only had 1 dominator, which was Ryan Blaney, who led 150 laps and had 86 fast laps, blistering. But 3 place differential upside guys with Austin Dillon coming from 21st to 1st, Tyler Reddick 24th to 2nd, Eric Jones 23rd to 6th. We had Clint Bowyer kind of moving up a little bit and Joey Logano moving up a little bit, put both of them into the optimal lineup. I ended up having $600 left on that one. And in 2019, the fall race, we had 2.5 Dominators, we had a lot of people lead. Kevin Harvick led 119 laps. Erik Amarola led 62. Daniel Suarez led 25. Clint Bowyer led 36. Yes, we had, I'd say 2.5 Dominators. But we had Kevin Harvick just stink up the field, leading 119 laps. Started first, finished first. Erik Amarola would be considered one of those guys that was a finishing spot. Daniel Suarez was a finishing spot. Alex Bowman definitely a finishing spot, starting 5th and finishing 5th. But 2 PD upside, 24-11 and 21-13. And in the spring, we had 1-ish Dominators, so same type of thing. Points were spread out kind of all over the place, with Daniel Suarez starting 4th, finishing 3rd. Remember, these races for Daniel were when he was with Joe Gibbs Racing, so those 2 races are the reason why he finished so well, but it does show that he knows how to race this track and get around it. So 1-ish Dominator with probably Denny Hamlin leading 45 laps and having 22 fast laps. But we had 3 place differential upside guys with Clint Bowyer 25th to 2nd, 30th to 9th, and I guess Erik Jones from 11th to 4th. But we had $400 left here. So, I mean, we're not spending all of our money to make optimal lineups again, but we are spending most of our money. In fact, the average salary is $49,340, so an average of $660 left over is kind of where we're looking at on an average in the last 5 races at Texas. Average total points of 375.69, and the average starting spot for our optimal lineups is 13.5, so we're not pulling guys from the back. Hence the other reason why I was not interested in any of those guys that were starting in the 30s. I think there was one. Can't remember exactly who it was now, but and it's really spread out. There's lots of guys that have made optimal lineups over time. Clint Bowyer's the only one who has 4 optimal lineups in the last 5 starts. So that really kind of shows really what this is doing. We're looking at people because they get up front, they stay up front. The guys that starting up front are going to stay up front unless they have a mechanical issue. This track just does not lean towards being a wreck fest. I say that now, and half the field will get eliminated or something in the start of the race. But those stupid things happen, and there's no way to control it. And sometimes you get lucky when that happens, and sometimes you don't. But kind of our breakdown of who I think potentially are our best picks for Dominators and place differentials. Kyle Larson has definitely got to be at the top of that list for Dominators. He absolutely dominates this type of track and this race package with the 550 horsepower high downforce. I expect him to do what Kyle Larson does and has done all season long and dominate. If there's anybody that's going to take that away from him, it's going to be the next 2 guys, Ryan Blaney and Denny Hamlin. Kyle Busch is just really good here, so that's always a potential. After this, I really don't think Truex, Elliott, Keselowski, Logano have that potential, but if something happens to those front guys, those guys potentially would be your next grouping of potential Dominators. But for place differentials, I think Kevin Harvick definitely has to be at the top of that heap. I expect Kevin to finish at least top 10, so that's at least 14 place differential spots, and finishing that high up, it's going to put him in the 40 or 50 point range. I think Kevin Harvick should almost be a lock for most of your lineups. If you're running multiple lineups, I would have him in 60-70% of the lineups. Kurt Busch has another good PD upside, starting 17th. Erik Amarola 22nd, Ross Chastain 25th, Ryan Newman 31st. I don't think I'd take anybody that's further back than Ryan Newman. They just don't have the equipment to make it into any point scenario that I want to be part of. But value guys, Tyler Reddick is really good here. He does like the different grooved racetracks. He likes to run a little bit higher line and can run really fast at it. So I think Tyler Reddick could easily, if not win this race, I think he could have a top 3. So Alex Bowman is another one who runs fairly well here and starting 14th. But for value, maybe, and it's a big maybe, Anthony Alfredo. Chris Buescher, but Chris is starting so high up. I just don't like where that PD downside ends up putting us. Maybe Christopher Bell, since he's just racing for trophies now, he's out of the playoffs. But I think what you're looking at really is maybe a Corey LaJoie, Eric Jones, Kevin Harvick, Kyle Larson type lineup, and then filling it in with some guys that are going to finish up front or have a little bit of PD upside. So that kind of rounds out all of that, and we are down to it. Three races left of the playoffs, and then the season finale at Phoenix. I will be coming to you guys again for the Kansas race next week, and then the Martinsville race I'll definitely do, and I may even do I'll try to do a live broadcast or something from Martinsville and talk a little bit about what I'm seeing and how things are looking there. But you guys have a great weekend. Looks like it's going to be a little rainy here in Virginia this weekend, so hopefully Texas stays dry and we can get this race in and done in a reasonable time on Sunday. We don't have to sit around watching for when a track dries. But you guys have a great weekend. Good luck. Hey, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and share this video with anybody that likes NASCAR and DraftKings. Would love to try to give them some insight into potentially who to take, who not to take, and maybe they can win some money. I've been having a pretty good year, and I hope you're doing the same. Hey, thanks. Check me out again next week, and we'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye.
Get a good deep breath. Get ready to roll here. Only about one thing tonight, getting the W's, so got to be around the end to do that. Get ready to roll tonight, boys. Let's go have some fun.
Don't get me any more fired up than I already am.
All the way to the checker. You're fine. Nobody's got to run. Checker time, baby!
Hell yeah!
Proud of you there, Matt. Good job, pal. Thanks, man. Good job all day.
Great work, my man. Great work.
Keep putting yourself in position, we'll win our share, right? We got one back today, brother. Good job.
Great job, guys. Excellent work, my man. Excellent work. Thank you.
Man, that's awesome. Set out with a goal, we got it here, bud. Thank you very much.
Really proud of you, man. Drove your butt off tonight. We had the fastest car here, bud.
Probably killed our deal there. Just feel like I gave one away.
Yeah, boys. Way to rebound. Great job.
Great job, bud. Really good job. Appreciate you hanging in there with us all weekend.
What a weekend. Good job. Thank you.